this computer.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Let us start with a word of prayer this morning. We give you thanks, Lord, for this beautiful morning that you have given us. Give us the grace of your Spirit so that we can be bold and courageous to proclaim the good news to everyone that is seeking you. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Can you hear me?
We can
No.
hear you, but your video is frozen.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're still frozen video, but
Can you hear me?
there we go. Yeah, I think it's going to be in and out.
Okay. Now can you hear me steady?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm sorry for last week. I was doing some another place, so things are moving along. We're happy for that. So thank you for your patience and prayers. So let's start with our third session. That today is gonna be a little bit crunchy. We are gonna to crunchy. No, sorry. We are gonna try to put two sessions together that we can look at and move forward in our training. Let me share the screen. Share screen. Oh, I'm requesting to share the screen when
There you go.
just to let you know. Or Greg.
Yeah, I shared it. I allowed it. Try again. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, you should be good.
I think here we are. Can you see that?
It's trying. There it is.
Awesome. Let us start here. Yeah. So we are in our third session. In our third session, we are going to talk about traditional Latino ministry in our midst. We're going to talk a little bit about first and 1.5 second generation and second generation, second generation, third generation, and fourth generation, the traditional paradigm that we have been working across most of the denominations in the US, and the need for a changing of paradigm in Latino ministries. So first generation Latinos in the US refers to individuals that have immigrated from their origin places from Mexico to South America, including those born in Puerto Rico or another Caribbean island like Dominican Republic, Cuba, and so on. So this is the first generation of Latinos that have immigrated to the States. And for those who have immigrated as a first generation, everything has been challenging since from the language to a new culture. But those kids that have been brought with this fierce wave of people immigrating to the state or fleeing their countries because of different reasons, those first generation kids have navigated a unique experience in their midst. They have been challenged in language and culture and in the way that they look before society in the States. And that has been very, very challenging for them. I've been working with a lot of kids in my ministry, 1.5 generation kids, and those kids, even though they moved to the States and let's say with not all the resources or benefits or whatever they can get, uh, they feel that their life have changed 100%. You know, most of the kids feel that they are rich, even though they are not in a very high level as in society. Uh, they feel that they are rich in comparison with their country of origin. So they are challenged by the language, but they are more open to learning, and they are more open to embrace the American culture. And always there is this dichotomy, and we are going to look that in the following slides, because these kids don't feel that they are that they belong to each of these two cultures, the Latino and the Anglo culture, because they feel that they're like in a sandwich between both cultures. And later we have the second generation Latinos. These are those kids that have been born in the States with at least one Latino parent or both Latino parents or one American. This is the bridge generation that we need to look at. These generations are um, trying to maintain the unique bicultural identity. They feel like the 1.5 generation that they don't belong to either of those two cultures, the Latino and the Anglo culture, because to look more Anglo, let's say somehow, because that's the culture that they live in school or sports or whatever activity they are in, and they are demanded as well from their Latino parents to be Latinos. So they feel that they don't belong to one or another. The language is an identity factor for them. Most of the Latino kids born in the US, they are Latino American citizens. Most of them are very proficient in English, and they start to losing a little bit the Spanish. For them, the fluency in Spanish along the way is getting less and less and less, because of course they are more into the Anglo culture in school, work, college, or whatever environment they move in. The connection with the country of their parents, it can vary also, um, because they don't travel a lot to their parents' country. So, and it start a little bit of missing this enrichment from the Latino part, because they are more into the tie into their homeland, that would be the States in this case. Any questions so far here? Okay, let's move forward to the third and fourth generation. These third and fourth generations are those kids that we can somehow identify as Anglo-Saxon culturally immersed. The language is mostly English. They don't speak a lot of Spanish, and if they do, they are gonna speak Spanish in with this Anglo accent, or with this Anglo um, mindset. So sometimes, for example, my daughter, even though she's a 1.5 generation Latino, when she was starting to learn verbs in Spanish and in English, instead of saying clap or clapping, she was saying clapar. When she tried to translate it into Spanish, she said clapar because she didn't could she couldn't say aplaudir, that is the verb to clap in Spanish. So since she couldn't say aplaudir, she said clapar. ¿Puedo clapar? Can I aplaudir? So uh, the English is becomes the language, their mother language, the primary language at the home, the primary language at work, at school, and it as well because, and truth be told, when a kid speak with an accent, most of the time that kid is mocked at school, or people take advantages of them, or make fun of the kids. Parents encourage most of the kids as well. Latino parents encourage most of the kids not to speak sometimes Spanish, but learn very well English, so that nobody can make fun of them sometimes. In the cultural practices, they are at home. They try to keep the cultural practices as much as they can, but uh, most of the time it is related just to the holidays or family.
I think you're frozen. Sure, there's a thing I can do. Come back. Oh, he went away. All right. Hopefully he'll come back in. Smile.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. It is raining here like crazy. It has been raining the whole night.
See
So
that?
apologize. Okay, so we were here and we were talking about the fourth and third Latino generations. So most of these kids, or these Latino or late Latino generations, try somehow to reconnect with their roots in the daily life or through their parents, even though they don't manage or they don't have the fluency in the language, they don't have um, surrounded by the Latino environment. Somehow they try to reconnect with their roots because they feel that something is missing in their life, which is good. So, and that give us, if we want to talk to revitalize our churches, to look for new members, to look for new opportunities to make us grow as community of faith, this this bridge between the second and third and fourth generation, the third and fourth generation, is an opportunity for the whole church in all denominations. What I'm saying that because the paradigm that has been used in most of the denominations in the US has been focused on first generation Latinos and first 0.5 generation Latinos. What that means is that we are losing the sight of the second, third, and fourth generation, which are mm, Latino or Latino descendants, that they are more um, identify with the Anglo culture, with the language somehow, but they want to keep somehow their roots. And since we are offering a Latino ministry just focus on first 0.5 generation, they don't feel connected because it's not their language, it's not their whole environment that surrounded them, because they have been growing up in a more Anglo environment than a Latino. So those kids feel that they have been left out or behind, and they don't connect with any denomination, and with any church, because they don't feel that they fit. Because when they are seen for our denomination, they are seen like Latinos, 100% Latinos. And sometimes it could be assumed that they speak the language and so on, when they do not, or that they have the fluency in culture, Latino culture, and so on. So those kids, or those Latino or late Latino generations feel disconnected from church for those reasons. And that's why they don't feel that they have a place in church. Again, that's a wonderful opportunity for all denominations, for us especially. Again, because this is the paradigm that we have been working across the state in most of the Christian denominations. Traditional Latino ministry, that Anglo congregations that lead in it, are immigrant focused, first generation Spanish, a focus on social justice vision. When we saw and we in the previous session, we saw that most of the Latino kids are going to colleges, are going to university, so they have another kind of life that their parents didn't have. And since they are sorry, since they are disconnected for these realities, they feel they don't fit. The transition, as I was saying earlier, is the second generation of Latinos that are bilingual, that are most comfortable in English. They are young and they prefer bilingual services. And this is the bridge for us, or for the church, to connect with these second Latino generations that are more um, cultural competent in language, in Anglo and American traditions, to be brought into the church, not missing their Latino roots. They are always offering to them an opportunity to be in a church, in a worship, that they can have some glimpses of their roots, of their Latino roots. For example, there are people, young Latino generations, that they can listen to the whole service in English, but they will prefer that the Our Father can be prayed in Spanish, because that connect them with their Latinidad, with their families, with their roots. Everything else can be in English, but Our Father uh, raised in them this, I am in a place where I'm understood in both sides. So the mission and vision of the church would be that our Anglo congregation can be more cultural competent, to go and seek for these late Latino generations that are seeking for a place where they feel that they are at home. Engaging with youth in their places, as you have been doing there in St. Luke's with the youth in EVP, helping them in the youth ministry, bilingual services that can keep cultural elements of the Latino traditions. Again, it doesn't need to be everything back and forward in Spanish and in English. Just some segments of the service that can connect those late Latino generations and feel that they belong as well with their Latinidad and with their roots. Any questions so far? No? So that's the third session. Let's move forward to the fourth session. our Latino congregations in North Carolina. We are going to see the main Latino nationalities in North Carolina, a video of people moving in North Carolina, and some of our communities in North Carolina, Latino communities. You have hosted one of them and you know a little bit already, but I would like to give you a taste of the other communities as well. So as we can see here, are the ethnic origins of Hispanic population in North Carolina. The green side represents or show us the 90s, and the blue one 2021. So if we can see, most of the Latino represented in North Carolina are Mexican, 50% of them. Puerto Rican, before they were at 22%, now they are at 12%. Central America, that means from Guatemala to Panama. In the past, they were 6%, now they are 18%. South American, that comprehends from Colombia to Chile, now they are the 8%. The Cuban have dropped a little bit from the 6th to the 3rd%. Other Ricardo Medina is Cuban. Other Caribbeans have increased 2% over the year. From Spain have decreased 3%, and other have decreased 7%. But most of our Latino people in North Carolina are from Mexico. And lately, I can say for sure that from 2021 to 2025, it has been a big wave, not big wave, but a significant number of Venezuelan people moving to North Carolina. If you look through Facebook, there is a group called Venezolanos in Raleigh, or Venezuelans in Raleigh, and the number has been increasing in the last 2 years. This chart compare the minorities in North Carolina that we can see here from the 2000 to 2023, how the number have dropped a little bit, 70.2% in 2000 to 2023. White, Black, or African American has been steady there. Hispanic, if we can see Hispanic here, from 2000 to 2023, it has been an increase of almost 8%. Asian, a little bit as well, and other, 3.4%. And this is a video of Latinos moving into North Carolina.
The Hispanic population in North Carolina is growing almost 10 times faster than the national average. Along with that comes more homebuyers.
As part of our Hispanic Heritage coverage this month, CBS 17's Lillian Donahue explains how the Latino community is helping fuel a competitive housing market.
U.S. Census Bureau data shows that here in Durham and Chapel Hill are two of the fastest growing areas in the country for Hispanic home buyers. And for those who serve that community, they say business is just getting busier.
Yep, let's go upstairs.
Otto Cedeno says his team of bilingual realtors is constantly helping people move into the Triangle.
They move in from different parts of the United States, New York, California, Florida.
Even in one of the most competitive housing markets on record.
It's been double the size every year on the Latino market in this area. And the beauty about it is a very young generation of Latinos.
Young Hispanic homebuyers are driving those sales. The National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals say nearly a third of Latinos are in prime home buying years, between 25 and 44.
I've been a serial renter my whole life.
Like George Roa, who moved to North Carolina from New York.
And I'm now in the process of purchasing my first home that isn't an investment property. That's something I can move into, do a little bit of work to it, and stay in there.
But it's not easy. He says tight housing supply and strong competition are still barriers for first-time buyers like himself.
Sometimes the minute a house goes on the market, it's off. So sometimes you don't even have a chance to go see it.
Over the next 20 years, the Urban Institute projects that 70% of new homeowners will be Hispanic.
We came here looking for a dream.
Elvira Cortez has been in the U.S. for 18 years, but she recently moved to the Raleigh area, pulled by a strong job market and a place to raise her family.
Better opportunities for job, better opportunities for education, and a safety place more than anything.
She's working with realtors Maya Galetta and Yvette Nerona. They both say they expect an influx of second-generation immigrants and their families to relocate to the Triangle soon.
A lot of these people immigrated into the country 15 years ago, 20 years ago. They now have children that within the next 3 to 5 years are going to be ready to buy as well, and they will be prepared to buy.
For the buyers and realtors relocating a new generation of Hispanic homebuyers, it's more than just finding a house, but ushering in a young, diverse, and lasting community.
The U.S. Census Bureau reports that in the 10 years leading up to the pandemic, Latinos accounted for more than 50% of new home ownership growth nationwide. Reporting in Durham, Lillian Donahue, CBS 17 News.
Any questions about the video? No?
The Hispanic population in North Carolina.
So here I'm going to present some of the Latino communities in North Carolina. We have Christ Beloved Community. Christ Beloved Community is a bi-denominational congregation. They are Lutherans and Episcopalians. The Reverend Chantal Morales, who is a priest in our diocese, partners with the LCA in a mostly African American congregation, and she tries to build up discipleship, visiting the houses around the congregation, inviting people to the worship services. And because around Christ Beloved Community, or yes, at CBC, that's how we call it in this congregation, there were a lot of Latinos. She was able to connect with the Latino neighborhood, and it started inviting them to the services. So this community started as a bilingual community, and later it became more Spanish speaking than bilingual. The service that is hosted there, they have the screens that shows the service in both languages, and people can follow the service in both languages. But the language is spoken during the service is the Spanish. Even though most of these kids that you see there and most of the youth people that you see in this picture, most of them are fully bilingual, and most of them prefer the English language. Most of their parents are just monolingual. So that's why, and that's why the service is shown on the screens in both languages. Nowadays, this Father Javier Arias has been doing a wonderful job there. Father Javier is from Colombia, but as well he's a Canadian citizen, and he has embraced the community in these last 3 years very well, going to the houses, inviting people, getting to know everybody. So the community has grown a lot. And the church is as small as you can see, like the church at El Buen Pastor, a little bit bigger than the building that they have at El Buen Pastor in the old building. And the ASA weekly is 150. That's the number that they have, 150. And for the big celebrations, they can gather 500 people there. And they have to put tents outside and to make room for everybody. So that's in Winston-Salem.
Estamos aquí con miembros de la comunidad, con miembros del Vestri, con las miembros del Vestri de la comunidad amada de Cristo. Y nos gustaría saber si cada uno de ustedes me puede decir una palabrita de qué fue lo que les llamó más la atención y les hizo quedarse en esta iglesia.
Una de las cosas fueron el aceptamiento hacia la persona por parte del padre y de la comunidad. Cuando yo llegué aquí, pues me gustó el recibimiento que nos dio el Padre y el que nos aceptaran como tal nosotros somos y no nos sentimos juzgados, nos sentimos como en casa.
Bueno, la comunidad amada de Cristo, de nuestro santo patrono San Judas Tadeo, me adoptó como un miembro más de la familia, de la comunidad, y me ha hecho sentir querida, protegida. ¿Qué más podemos decir? Que tenemos una comunidad, como dice la palabra, la comunidad. Es una unión, más que nada familiar, donde nos acogió para hacernos sentir como nuestra segunda casa.
¿Qué sería lo que ustedes, o cuál es la devoción que se celebra aquí que más les gusta?
Pues la Santa Misa y pues el recibir cada domingo que nosotros venimos la presencia de estar con Dios.
¿Y qué festividades les gusta más celebrar?
Las festividades que más nos gusta celebrar, la Eucaristía, es una base principal de venir a oír la palabra del Señor. Otra de las cosas para mí importante para llenar mi corazón, mi alma, mi mente, es leer la palabra. Es una festividad que yo tengo cada domingo, que vengo aquí a reunirme con el Señor y el Padre Javier.
Para mí serían las comuniones.
Las comuniones.
Sí, porque me gusta ver cómo llegan niños, adolescentes, jóvenes que llegan y son partes de la iglesia ahora.
Muchísimas gracias a las tres. Gracias por el trabajo que hacen en la comunidad y por su servicio. Dios les pague.
Amén.
As is Christ's beloved community. As they were saying, what they love the most is how the community had embraced them, had welcomed them, where they don't feel that they are different from each other, but a part of a family. And the celebrations that they love the most are the first communions for the kids, or when people come to the service on Sunday and partake from the table. Because again, most of us have this Roman Catholic background where you are not allowed to come forward and partake if you are, let's say, no worthy, you haven't made a confession, or you are not married, or whatever, So for them to found this community that embrace them and invite them to be part of the table, despite whatever situation they are going through, it is a blessing. This is Holy Innocents. This is a community that is located in Henderson. This community started in as the slide said, and all since then, 2001. This has been a resilient community. They have been there for 24 years. They have been presenting a lot of challenges, but they have been faithful and perseverant in their faith. They feel that community, that church, as the second home as well. So most of this congregation has been led by 2 lay leaders across all these years. They haven't have a priest who speaks Spanish for many, many years, but they have been there. The priests that have been in Henderson, even though they celebrate the services with a small knowledge of Spanish, have made them again to be perseverant and resilient and don't leave the church, because they feel that is the church for them. They feel welcome, that they feel embraced as well. In 2024, Father Liam Barr, who was a seminarian in Southwest, came to our diocese and was hired to be the curate for this community for the next 3 years. So he has been doing a wonderful, wonderful job with the community. He is the first fully bilingual priest that has been serving this community for this period of time. When he came on board, there were people. When I was serving this community at the very beginning, when I came on board to the diocese, there were not that many people, so there were like 15 people. So I started to go there for Sunday services at least once or twice a month, depending on my schedule. Suddenly the community was 30, 40, and now for the big celebration with Father Liam, the number, or for the regular services, the number is 50, and for the big celebration is almost 190, 100. So this is the part of the
Estamos aquí
leadership.
con miembros de la comunidad de Holy Innocents en Henderson. Y quisiera yo preguntarles qué fue lo que les llamó la atención de la iglesia episcopal para que se quedaran allí.
A mí la iglesia me encanta. La iglesia me atrapó desde el primer día que fui. Me atrapó y nunca me fui y nunca me voy a ir.
A mí me gustó que cuando llegué ahí nadie voltea a mirarte, a juzgarte o qué necesitas. Simplemente llegué y me quedé sin preguntas.
Sí, pues a mí en lo particular también, como dice la señora, ¿verdad? Pues llegamos y nadie nos juzga, se nos queda viendo feo y pues todos nos hablamos, hay comunidad, pues hay unión.
Hay mucha unión, mucha amistad entre todos.
Aunque somos poquitos, pero
muy unidos.
¿Y cuáles son las fiestas que más les gusta celebrar?
La Navidad, las posadas, que celebramos un momento ahora el Día de los Muertos.
No sé nada la Virgen de Guadalupe.
Y ahorita ya viene, hicimos el Via Crucis el viernes pasado. Hicimos un pequeño Via Crucis y ahorita que ya viene ¿cómo se llama? Semana Santa.
A mí me gustan todas, pero en lo personal, el 12 de diciembre.
El 12 de diciembre.
Sí, es la más importante para todos.
Y la última preguntita, ¿vale la pena ir a la iglesia?
Sí.
Sí, claro.
Sí, vale la pena.
Sí, vale la pena.
Sí, yo tuve 22 años, voy para más.
Espera cumplir más años, ¿no?
Más años ahí.
Perfecto. Dios me les pague. Que Dios me la bendiga. Estamos.
This is El Buen Pastor, as we know. This church started on June 6th, 1993. And it started as a bilingual community when St. Andrews, that was the former congregation that gathers in that building, was still meeting there. They started with the Centro Hispano, that is now a non-profit, a big non-profit organization. It started there with the ESL classes. They offer after-school programs. They help as well to start small businesses within the Latino community. When in May 22nd, 1996, the Episcopal Hispanic Farm Worker Ministry that we have, or that we share with the diocese of the eastern part of the diocese, it started as well at El Buen Pastor. So this community is very important because this is the first Latino community in our diocese, El Buen Pastor, and it has been a beacon of hope and faith for many. And it has been the place where many other non-profit organizations have been born. And again, the Hispanic Farm Worker Latino Ministry started there as well with Father Bill Forward. Nowadays, it's a community, as you have been witness, with an ASA around 150, 170. In a regular service, as you have experienced, there are more than 500 people for the big celebrations.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Nereida González, soy miembro de la Iglesia Episcopal El Buen Pastor de Durham. Nosotros somos miembros del Vestri, el Guardián Mayor.
Abundio González, Luis López,
Karen Díaz.
Queremos compartir con ustedes un poco de nuestra vivencia a través del tiempo en la Iglesia Episcopal.
Lo que más me gustó de la Iglesia Episcopal fue el recibimiento que tuve la primera vez que vine a esta iglesia y el trato que tuve a pasar del tiempo, una experiencia maravillosa.
Bueno, en nuestra iglesia tenemos muchas fiestas, pero creo que la más destacada es la Virgen de Guadalupe, ya que la mayoría de los miembros somos fieles devotos a la Virgen de Guadalupe.
A las personas
No worries.
So, were you able to watch the EVP video as a whole?
No, I don't think I think it stopped while maybe Luis or Abundio were talking. I'm not sure which.
Okay, let's put it here and let's have it to finish. Oh. Este es el buen pastor. This is el buen pastor. Speaking in Spanish. This is el buen pastor, as you know it. Let's do La Guadalupana de Wilson. La Guadalupana de Wilson is another congregation that they started in 1993, little by little. It started at St. Timothy's Episcopal Church in Wilson. Later, it moved to St. Mark's. There is an African-American, historical African-American congregation in Wilson as well. And Father Philip, who was the one who started this mission there. So there was no Spanish services, even either in the Catholic Church and other denominations in Wilson, and he started it. And this Latino congregation has been growing up as well through the years. In 2021, Father Daniel Pinel, who is a Nicaraguan citizen, and now he's a U.S. citizen as well, was selected as the new vicar for La Guadalupana. They have a lot of ministries going on as El Buen Pastor or CBC. They have food banks, scholarships, Alcohólicos Anonymous, going there after school programs and more. They have middle week service on Thursdays. They have Bible studies on Tuesday evenings, and among other activities that they do. They also celebrate the big feasts like the Guadalupe and St. Jude as well. This is a growing community. They have across our other two big communities, CBC and El Buen Pastor. They don't have a building to be in. They were worshiping at St. Mark's. Sadly, St. Mark's, one of the church walls in the sanctuary had fall, and it is no longer safe for both community to worship there. So both communities are looking for new opportunities. San Marcos is going to rebuild the building that they have. They are looking for funds as well. And La Guadalupana, they were given a piece of land in Wilson, and they are trying to, with the building proceeds money that they received almost a year ago, they are trying to build a new church for them because they don't fit. The ASA for them is almost the same, 150, 170 weekly, and 500 during the big celebrations. La pasión. So that's a glimpse of the four community that we have. There is another one that it has been just started a few months ago. There is one in Holy Comforter, Charlotte, but that community is changing recently, and there is a new community starting at St. Mark Huntersville, Charlotte as well, that have been led by Reverend Daisy Colon. Cuidado, mi amor, que estoy en una reunión. No, mi amor, estoy en una casa. And my daughter, come here and say hello, quick.
¿Eso es en dónde?
North Carolina.
I thought that
Do you
was
want? Do you want to have?
I thought that was in Canada.
She said it was in the. Vaya, pues, mi amor lindo. So she has been running. I'm gonna show you in a few minutes one thing that you are gonna like the most. I hope you can see it. So these are our four congregations, and the church or the congregation that is community is starting at the Huntersville in St. Mark's. Reverend Daisy Colon, who is a Puerto Rican citizen, a U.S. citizen, has been working then with, surprisingly, a Colombian community. All of people that are going to the service in St. Mark Huntersville twice a week, every other week, are from Colombia, South America. I went once and I was struck by that because most of our congregations are Mexican, mostly Mexican, a few South American, and she has been able to invite this community, these people from a different country, and they have been so happy and so encouraged and eager to learn about the Episcopal Church, and they have been gathering since then. So, and actually, they have a trip next month to go some places and visit with the Reverend Daisy. So that's a new community. We hope that we can keep holding them in our prayers and helping them as much as they can. Any
those questions? You're frozen. Oh. Come on. I know you all are thinking of those questions while we're waiting.
Hi.
Hey.
Again, thank you so much for your kind patience. For your patience in all of this. So those are our communities. Again, the last community is San Marcos. And any questions so far for these two sessions? We are one session less. That would be next week.
I have one, but it's more general. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay. So this is going to be going nationally ultimately, right? But are you going to be Zooming with every church that wants it? Or is it?
That's going to be more focused locally, to be honest with you, because there is a general course that is offered by the Latino Hispanic Ministries at the A15. With the recently the Latino missionary across the church went into retirement, and we are looking for the new person who is gonna take his place. So there is this course given nationally in across some dioceses, but I designed this one just to North Carolina. is completely the only thing that is similar to the national course is the generational part, first generation through the fourth generation. It is more. I've taken that from with the permission of the former Latino missionary to put it in our course, but it's most designed to North Carolina. I'm gonna be giving this course to the churches or congregation that ask for.
People, most of the people who spoke to us today, churches, were women. Are the majority of the convert female?
I'm so sorry. Can you come closer? I cannot hear you very well.
Are the majority of the congregants in the examples you gave us female?
Oh, yes. There are a lot of, yes, females in our Latino congregation. I can say this 60 to the 70% depending on the congregation, to be honest with you. And lots, as you have experienced there, lots of kids.
Why is that, and how do you change it?
How is that, and how I change it, or how we can change it? That's a very good question, to which I don't have a real answer right now. Why? Because in Latino culture, as I was saying before, we are a matriarchal culture, and everything is run by our wives at home, even the faith. You know, women, we think that we are the main ones in our house. We are not. Are our wives. Truth to be told, we think that we are empowered. No, we are not. And since it's a matriarchal culture, faith, tradition, all is passed along through the moms, mostly. That's why, and we are going to see that in the next session, that's why the figure of Mary, the Virgin Mary, is so important for us as a Latinos. Because through the moms, we receive life, we receive tradition, we receive food, we receive culture, we receive everything. It doesn't mean that the fathers are not in the picture. They are, but in another kind of context. To give reassurance, to give strength, to give education, to the hard work that brings food at the home, but the coziness, the delicate things come from our moms.
That's the sacred vows. This or the Catholic women are as much, part of it, and I think people gravitate, especially women, to the fact that they're accepted and in part children. You would think Latin America would be more Catholic, but Catholic has done such a great job of being that. That's the secret power of the Episcopal Church.
I'm sorry, it was broken a little bit. Somebody can.
Say it again. What was the question?
It was stated.
What was the
Okay.
The power of the Episcopal Church. Oh, sure. Right. So the women are much more involved in the Episcopal Church than in the Catholic Church, in leadership especially.
Yeah. And that's a good point as well. Even though our background is Roman Catholic, the leadership within the Catholic Church is under the table. Women are not allowed to do a lot of stuff, while men are those who lead worship services and so on. But again, faith and all these things that I mentioned before come from our mom. And then in the Episcopal Church, women that came with this Roman Catholic background feel that they have a place of leadership, that they can actually get to lead a community, lead a Bible lead in the altar. Can you hear me?
So Franklin, you're breaking up badly.
Can you hear me?
Now we can, but you were breaking up very badly the last minute or so. So I think it's probably time we'll wrap and pick back up at 9 next week.
Yes. Just if you give me one more second, just
Okay.
give me one more second. I want to show you something quick, very quick here. Let's see where it went. Oh my gosh. This one. I hope you can see this. This is what I have behind me now.
Can't see it yet. We see Zoom, but not the page it's trying to get to. Yep, I think you're frozen again. We did not see it.
Okay, let me show you very quick, because I want to share with you this beautiful that I have behind me. So give me just a second. Can you see that?
Yes.
That's what I have behind me right now. This is behind me. The snow and the mountains.
And where is that?
This is the Pico Bolivar, the Bolivar's Peak is up in the mountain. It's the only place in Venezuela where we get snow.
Oh, what's the altitude? What's the altitude? What's the altitude on the mountains?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I haven't checked that out, but this is the only thing. I'm pretty bad with that. So I guess more than 3,000 feet over the sea level.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well,
Again,
thank
thank you so much for your grace in this, in this time.
We'll see you next week then. Same time, same place.
I'll see you. Yes, for our last session. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful week ahead.
All right. Blessings. Bye bye.